Hello and a very warm welcome to Science Monitor, your weekly update on what is happening in the field of science, technology, research and innovation to change the S&T landscape of the country and impact your life. I am Smriti Rastogi. From the amazing daylight harvesting technology to the use of drones in rural India, we have plenty in store for you. But first, let's begin with the headlines. Daylight harvesting technology will help reduce carbon footprint. An Indian startup has developed many solutions to enable indoor illumination with daylight without converting it into electricity. Pune-based Agarkar Research Institute successfully develops a multi-purpose and fungal-resistant variety of grapes. Being highly adaptable, the hybrid variety has shown promising results in grape growing states of the country. The Government of India is promising the use of drones for transforming rural India. UAV technology is being used to deliver medical supplies and also to modernize the agriculture sector. And from a study to investigate the impact of climate change on railway embankments to the appointment of new principal scientific advisor to the Government of India, we shall see a lot more in our special segment Science Express. And now let's begin with the details. Soon we will be able to illuminate our homes using the daylight in its natural form, even if we are residing in a basement. Yes, an Indian startup has made this possible by developing various solutions for daylight harvesting. The technology removes the glare as well as the heat from the visible light and then brings it inside the buildings for illumination without converting it into electricity. When used on a large scale, this technology will go a long way in reducing our carbon footprint. Let's see the report to get more details on this technology.
As soon as a new day begins, sunlight illuminates the entire world, bringing ease to the daily routine of all life on Earth. The same light also illuminates the indoors in our homes and offices through windows and skylights. But with emerging high-rise structures and multi-story apartments and basements gaining more traction as living and working spaces, the need for electrical lighting throughout the day has increased many-fold. To reduce this dependence on electricity, more efficient and precise technology has been introduced in the form of daylight harvesting on the lines of an old skylight. Hyderabad-based Sky Shade Daylights Private Limited is the first Indian startup to start brightening up the interiors of buildings using solar energy, but without converting it into electricity.
Sunlight comes through the window, but still people use blinds on the windows. So why do they use it? Because there is a lot of harshness of light. This we call it as glare, or you see a bright spot of light near the window. That gives a lot of discomfort. That is the reason why people put a blinds on the window. So if you remove this element of discomfort when you use the natural sunlight, and then it becomes a very pleasant experience to the users of the building. This is exactly what we call as daylight harvesting.
This new age technology is in line with the zero carbon emission policy of the Government of India. That's why the Technology Development Board of the Department of Science and Technology has decided to promote this daylight harvesting technology. The solar energy spectrum comprises 45% of its energy in the form of visible light, which can be used to illuminate a building for about 9 to 11 hours a day. Daylight harvesting technology is based on using this 45% of the sun's energy.
To capture more light, you should not increase the size of the window. What we need to do is, we should capture the light from the window, then redirect the entire light deep inside. So this is called a sunlight redirection technology. So we adapt this particular technology and we make panels which can be used on the windows. So to increase the amount of sunlight into the building, that is what we call the indirect sunlight or the diffused light, which is essentially what we call the daylighting. We use these sunlight redirection panels. So you can use this panel on the window and see that all the light is transported deep inside.
SkyShade is a pioneer in the field of daylight harvesting technology and has been working in the field since 2014. The Indian company has developed a variety of state-of-the-art skylights which capture the sunlight and illuminate buildings by controlling the glare and heat generated by its prickly intensity during the day. Their many innovations include the light pipe, which can be mounted like a chimney on the roof of any building. A highly efficient light collector installed on the outside of the pipe captures sunlight, and the high-quality reflectors inside the pipe reduce the glare of the sunlight even as light bounces off it. This controlled light reaches the light diffuser positioned at the inner end of the pipe, which dissipates the heat and light energy of the sun and turns it into an LED-like light.
In Telangana, we have done a very successful project. We call it probably a marquee project in that area. This is a government market yard, a typical market yard for farmers to sell their produce. It's a public building. There are 166 shops. We have seen that daylight comes to each and every shop through our technology of light pipe. And every inch of that particular building is completely lit with the daylight.
Based on this principle, SkyShade has designed various wall-mounted lighting devices that use direct sunlight, especially for buildings such as large offices and factories. The technology is capable enough to illuminate basements and other such structures. This innovative technology can reduce electricity consumption by 70 to 80%. TTB will provide a loan of Rs 5 crore to the company for developing new technologies for basement illumination.
We did approach a technology development board, having developed a lot of technologies. We approached them for commercialization. Now they are funding around 5 crores to us to develop the entire infrastructure, a complete infrastructure for commercialization of these technologies. Because the technologies are built. Now with this, we are just bringing them to the market with the commercialization.
Developed by an Indian startup, this indigenous technology is comparatively very cost-effective, optimal and practical, as it does not involve any energy conversion or energy storage. SkyShade has so far implemented daylight harvesting technology in a variety of government and public sector enterprises, including the Airport Authority of India, Chennai, the Telangana Secretariat, the Prime Minister's Office in New Delhi, offices of NTPC, Mahindra and Tata Motors, besides several religious places like temples and mosques. With the help of the Department of Science and Technology, this technology will soon be available in the larger market for public use.
The Agarkar Research Institute in Pune has successfully developed a multi-purpose variety of grapes as part of the All India Coordinated Research Project on Fruits of the Indian Council of Agricultural Research or ICAR. Released and then notified for cultivation in 2021, the variety has shown promising results in 4 grape-growing states of the country and is also resistant to many fungal diseases. Let's see our report to know more about this hybrid variety.
As the temperature rises, the demand for various beverages and juice-based drinks also increases to cope with the heat. A multi-purpose variety of the grapes developed by the Pune-based Agarkar Research Institute of the Department of Science and Technology, Government of India, can also help meet this demand. The hybrid grape variety developed by the scientists is resistant to fungal diseases, high-yielding and very well suited for the production of good quality juice, raisins, jams and even wine.
It is multi-purpose variety and it is for used for table purpose as well as for processing purpose, that is for juice, then raisins, and farmers have started using it for raisin purpose, and now some of the farmers, they are selling it in at premium price in malls and all. So people are liking it, and it is for wine also it is very useful.
The hybrid variety known as ARI 516 has been developed by inbreeding two species of the same genus, Vitis. The fungal resistant feature has been derived from Catawba, which is an American grape variety. Besides being high yielding, the ARI 516 variety adapts quickly to different locations and matures early.
Unique thing is it is highly adaptable and it matures in 135 days in Punjab, whereas it matures in Maharashtra, it matures in 120 days, and when you go to south, it matures very early. In Tamil Nadu, it takes only 80 days to mature this variety.
This hybrid variety has elongated bunches and has performed well in Maharashtra, Telangana, Tamil Nadu and Punjab. According to scientists, the berry tastes sweet with a musky flavor and has 65 to 70% juice content. The berry yield is 15 to 20 tons per acre, and the variety is tolerant to downy and powdery mildew disease. The variety was tested for 3 years before it was notified in 2021.
It was tested for 3 years, and testing procedure is also unique. First we have to graft those plants, then we have to test it at 4 replications. And then when it started fruiting, then we take the performance for 3 years, and then variety is identified in All India coordinated workshop, and after it is identified for release, then the variety is given for notification. So it was notified in 2021.
India is ranked 12th in grape production, and Maharashtra is the leading state in the country in grape production. About 78% of grapes is used for direct consumption, 17 to 20% for raisin production, about 1.5% for wine production, and a meager 0.5% is used for juice production. In Maharashtra, the ARI 516 variety is steadily replacing the earlier varieties, and according to scientists, the area under cultivation and production has gone up to by 100 acres in locations like Nashik and Solapur.
Drone technology is one of the fastest developing technologies of this century and is proving to be useful in almost every field. Assessing its wide potential, the Government of India has expanded the use of unmanned aerial vehicles in rural India to facilitate government projects and also to overcome many challenges. Let's see our special report on the use of drones in rural India.
Drones are unmanned aerial vehicles. This avionic technology has revolutionized the field of aviation technology and is slowly becoming a part of our daily life. Drones are now not only helpful to government agencies in search operations and as surveillance tools for security forces, but also come in handy during assessment and relief operations during calamities. Apart from urban needs, drone technology has proved to be a boon for rural India in the last few years, with 67% of the country's population being rural. Today, the technology is being used extensively in various fields to solve serious issues faced by rural communities. Let us take a look at how drone technology is transforming rural India and bringing ease of access and living to local communities. During the COVID pandemic, as the threat of the spread of the virus became constant, contactless technology came as a boon and grew by leaps and bounds during the difficult period. Everything from payments to food and other deliveries turned contactless. Amidst these challenges of the pandemic, providing healthcare facilities to the remote rural areas of India was a huge problem. In this situation, drone technology emerged as a viable solution. Indigenously developed drones were used for the distribution of medicines and COVID-19 vaccines to ensure last-mile delivery. In fact, in October 2021, India became the first nation in Southeast Asia to send vaccines in an unmanned aircraft. Soon, the air delivery of COVID-19 vaccines was also launched in Jammu. A drone developed by the National Aerospace Laboratories traveled a distance of 8 kilometers in just 20 minutes and safely delivered 50 COVID vaccines to the Mud Block Medical Center in Jammu. This was the first of many successful deliveries of the COVID vaccine carried out by drones in the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir. This breakthrough has opened up many avenues in the field of medicine and provided a solution for emergency medicine delivery in the future as well. In view of the usefulness of drones, the Government of India is now emphasizing their use to increase the speed of delivery of public health services in rural areas and also to modernize the agriculture sector. In February this year, Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurated the Kisan drone Yatra to spray pesticides in villages, towns and fields using these aerial vehicles. Drones have opened up a new chapter in modern agricultural systems and service delivery. The use of drones for agricultural activities like spraying insecticides and crop monitoring is not only time-saving but also reduces the cost incurred by farmers in doing these things. In order to popularize the use of drones among Indian farmers, the country's science and technology institutes have also set a target of making 1 lakh Made in India drones over the next 2 years. Apart from this, the Government of India will subsidize farmers for the purchase of these drones by classifying them as agricultural machinery. Under the project supported by the SEED program of the Department of Science and Technology, technology is now under development where drones will click pictures of fields and crops and transmit them directly to the centralized command center. At the command center, scientists will analyze these pictures for pests and diseases and send valuable information about mitigation to farmers through an app. Drones are also increasingly becoming the mainstay of another ambitious initiative of the Government of India, the Pradhan Mantri Swamitva Yojana. Under this scheme, drones are being used to document the land in rural areas. This will ease several land use activities by removing or highlighting the discrepancies in the ownership of residential and agricultural land in rural areas. According to the Census of India from 1991 to 2001, the total number of villages in India is 6,38,365. To get to this number, aerial photography was undertaken to map all these villages. This, besides being extremely expensive, also had its limitations. Now, drones with high-resolution digital cameras are being used for accurate mapping of villages across the country. This depicts the geographical location of a village quite accurately. Survey of India, which is one of the oldest institutions of the Department of Science and Technology, is doing this aerial mapping with 300 drones. Compared to old technology, a modern drone is capable of mapping an entire village in just 15 minutes. This has made the process faster and also makes it easier for locals to sort out any legalities concerning ownership of their land by providing accurate maps of their villages. These precise maps are now being used to issue property cards to rural residents by the Government of India. These property cards have several benefits and give the rural population convenience in solving land disputes. Besides this, the technology is also assisting in better water management, sowing and crop care. This not only gives farmers the advantage of better crop yields, but also helps in earning them huge profits. It would not be wrong to say that drone technology has innumerable benefits to create a new roadmap for the future of rural India. These flying machines will soon find their way into other fields and various businesses, bringing with them viable solutions to a number of problems. The field of drone technology not only has the potential to provide employment opportunities, but also to emerge as a significant contributor to the Indian economy.
And now let's have a look at some other developments that have made news in the field of science and technology in our segment Science Express.
Renowned Indian physicist Professor Ajay Kumar Sood has been appointed as the Principal Scientific Advisor to the Government of India. He has been appointed for a period of 3 years to succeed Professor K. Vijay Raghavan, whose tenure concluded on the 2nd of April this year. Professor Sood completed his master's degree in physics from Punjab University, Chandigarh in 1972 and acquired his PhD in 1982 from the Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore. The institution he later joined as an associate professor after completing his postdoctorate in Germany. He is now an honorary professor at the IISc's Department of Physics and also at the Jawaharlal Nehru Center for Advanced Scientific Research. Professor Sood has won many awards and recognitions for his scientific contributions besides having many patents in his name. Professor Sood was also conferred Padma Shri by the Government of India in 2013 and has been a member of the Prime Minister's Science, Technology and Innovation Advisory Council since 2018. Assuming his new position, he will now chair this council. Indian scientists have developed a plasma-based disinfectant to check the spread of COVID-19. Scientists from the Institute of Advanced Study in Science and Technology, Guwahati, an autonomous institute of the Department of Science and Technology, Government of India, have demonstrated the ability of the disinfectant in deactivating the spike protein of the SARS-CoV-2. It should be noted that the spike protein of the novel coronavirus binds with the ACE2 receptor of human cells and induces infection. The disinfectant has been developed with the help of cold atmospheric pressure plasma and is devoid of any hazardous chemicals. The study reveals that short-lived, highly reactive oxygen and nitrogen species generated in the plasma may completely deactivate the SARS-CoV-2 spike protein within 2 minutes of the cap treatment. The researchers showed that this plasma-based disinfection method is a better alternative to other hazardous chemical-based disinfection methods. Indian scientists have developed a suction monitoring system to estimate the harmful impact of climate change on railway embankments. Researchers from the Indian Institute of Technology, Mandi, and Durham University, UK, have developed a setup within a cyclic triaxial apparatus to monitor changes in soil suction and deformation brought by traffic-induced cyclic loading and environmental loading. The setup can be used to assess climate risk at the design stage of railway embankments.
Our country is geographically quite big, which has varied amount of rainfall distributed over the entire region. So it is very important for us, if we are designing the railway infrastructure, it is very important for us to consider the impact of rainfall and how our infrastructure, which is mainly the linear infrastructure, roads or railways, how it is going to get affected when we have excessive rainfall in a region.
Embankments of compact soil are used to lay down track beds for the basic infrastructure of railways that is meant to carry the load imparted by moving traffic. The soil sample used in the study was taken from a 650-kilometer heavy haul South African coal line that connects around 40 mines to the Richards Bay coal terminal in South Africa. The researchers adopted 3 testing protocols while replicating different rainfall conditions to observe the changes in the natural state of the compacted soil due to the ingress and egress of water coupled with train loading. Such studies will help develop strategies to mitigate climate risk at the design stage of railway embankments, leading to more sustainable construction. The research work has been published in the ASCE Journal of Geotechnical and Geoenvironmental Engineering.
And that is all in today's edition of Science Monitor. Keep sending your feedback and suggestions through email. Our email ID is indiascience@vigyanprasar.gov.in. You can also write into us at Vigyan Prasar, A50 Sector 62, Noida 201309, Uttar Pradesh. So we'll take your leave now. See you again next week. Till then, stay safe and think scientifically.